At this point, dating should come with a trauma warning. Cause what?
You guys, I am all dressed cute, ready to go on a date. My date comes, he's 40 minutes late. He's 40 minutes late to pick me up. He comes into my house, he uses my bathroom, and then he breaks up with me while I'm wearing this cute outfit. And now I'm sitting here crying. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering when this is gonna stop happening. Oh my god, this man. He has $67 in his bank account. And I'm literally crying about him.
You see what I'm talking about? Just trauma. Now, mind you, this is a very extreme. It's a very extreme reaction. But can we say it's not warranted? Can you imagine somebody coming into your house, using your bathroom? You are already all dressed up, and then they're like, you know what? Can you imagine if he did a number two and then broke up with you?
So I met a man in 2020. He was a good man. I love that man. He was totally my type, everything that I was looking for in a partner. So when we met, things were going good. And I'd say we got to about the third date before he ghosted me for like a whole week. He then hits me up and he's like, "Hey, I am so sorry. I've had a lot going on. I really want you to come over to my house. I want to make this up to you. I want to go out. Just come over."
Not to your house. Imagine ghosting me and then expecting me to come to your house. If you stop talking to me, we'll never talk again. We'll never talk again. But after that, to then invite me to your house, not even to try to invite me to a formal, like, something that would be worth my while then to apologize or to like explain. You just want me to come to your house.
So of course I go because this is the man of my dreams, and I know he not just gonna do me wrong. Life is busy, of course. So I get to his home. This man's entire face is wrapped up. I'm talking about like from here to here. There's tape all around. I'm like, what happened to you? He's like, "Oh, I had surgery on my sinuses." And, he's like, "I'm not feeling well." I'm like, "Okay, then why the hell you call me over?" So, anyways, I'm like, "Okay, like, do you need me to do anything?" He's like, "Well, I need you to open the door. My friend is here."
I am genuinely confused. So he is sick. He is healing from a surgery. And you're not his girlfriend. You're the girl he ghosted. So why does he want you there? All right, you know what? Let me just stop. Let me stop stopping it.
His friend comes in, mind you, y'all, there's nothing wrong with the friend. He's like really nice, really respectful. Like, he was over there checking on him because he had just had surgery. So we're all three there, chitter chattering very awkwardly because his friend's like, "I don't know this girl." And I'm like, "I don't know him." But anyways, he's like, "Hey, Stace, would you mind going in the kitchen and fixing us some burgers?" And let me tell you something. Who don't cook is me. I was like, burgers? And on top of that, I'm in all white. I ain't come over here to do no damn cooking. So I'm like, "No, I can't cook no burger." He was like, "Well, do you mind boiling me an egg?" At this point, I'm like, "Okay, let me boil this egg so I can go." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll boil you an egg." So I get on Google and see how long to boil a damn egg for. So I go in the kitchen. This is the most complicated damn stove I've ever operated in my life. And I'm like, I'm having a little trouble. So his friend comes in there and helps me turn on the stove. All while he's sitting over here wrapped up looking at me like. So the eggs have boiled, and I give him the eggs, and his friend was like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna go with you, homeboy." And he's like, "Stacey, would you mind staying?" I'm like, "Okay," because again, I'm not trying to show out in front of this man company. His friend leaves. He's like, "What type of woman don't know how to cook a burger? You've embarrassed me." I was like, "Hey, homeboy, I didn't know I was coming over here to cook a meal because I could have ordered something. Like, I'm real good at ordering." He was like, "I am extremely embarrassed." I'm like, "Okay, this is getting a little intense. I'm about to go." I'm like, I'm leaving. I don't have time for this. I'm gone. And at this point, he stands up and he's like, no, I demand you to stay. I can tell you never dated an alpha male. You don't know how to treat an alpha male. I was like, all right, okay, cool, bye. I'll own it. Y'all, this man's face is bleeding profusely. There is like blood just running down his face, on his shirt. And I'm like, I'm like, hey, he's like, shut up. I'm like, all right, you gonna campaign for the Lord to come get you? Who am I to deny you the election? So at this point, he faints and he falls back into like a little chair. Like, I think he was being dramatic, but whatever. So he falls back, and I'm like, I'm not gonna touch him because again, I'm in white, and this was a beautiful white dress, and I'm not about to mess up my white dress for somebody who disrespected me. In high intensity situations, I find myself like I have a delay reaction to everything, so I'm just standing there waiting for him to come to. When this dude comes to, he was like, would you mind running to Chipotle for me? I'm starving. I was like, okay, I'll go to Chipotle for you. He gives me his debit card and I go to my car and I'm like, you know what? I was disrespected. So I put the debit card on top of his mailbox. I backed out of the driveway. I left and I was back over there 2 weeks later. Yep, sure in the hell was. Found out he was polygamous. But that's how that story ends.
What the hell? Are you kidding? All I did was go on TikTok and search up bad dating experiences. And I watched like the first couple of seconds. That escalated so quickly. I had no idea. Because I thought this story would end at her saying that he was seeking a maid. Because how dare you, by the way? He was seeking a maid or a nurse for his healing period. But that's not even the full thing. You see, sometimes you just have to say no. You just have to say no to some things, to some invites. That invite should have been declined. He could have even used it as an excuse and say, I have been going through a lot and I have medical issues and that's why I didn't call you back, to garner a bit of sympathy or at least to make it make sense so that she would know what, at least have an idea of what the intention would be for when she gets there. Then the friend is there. So your only intention for her being there was for her to be your maid and you're out of your mind. This is not your wife. This is not somebody that you cared anything at all about, first of all. So why would you expect her to then care for you after your surgery? What about the girls that you actually cared about? What about your friend? Why can't your friend help you? Is this real? I'm doubting that this is real. I'm so happy with my boring life. I'll be boring. All I want to do is watch these stories. I don't want to live these stories at all.
I just had the worst first date of my life. I figure I'm just gonna tell you what happened and then we're gonna try and work our way back from there. My date invited myself along with 2 other women so that he could speed up the process of finding his perfect 3-way.
What the hell? I don't want to be stopping these videos so much. I want them to play out. Where do people get so much audacity from? Is it sold on Amazon? Is it at the store? Because there's no way. What do you mean speed up your perfect 3-way? Not even like if he was saying that he wanted polygamy then or something like that. You just want an exciting experience and that's why you're wasting these women's time. You see, sometimes we have to think with this head right here. Like it's not all about that.
I met this guy on a dating app, and I feel like by all reasonable measures, he was pretty much just your average guy. Literally nothing in his profile could have prepared me for what was to come. We agreed to meet at this Italian restaurant that's about 15 minutes away from my house. So I show up in my Uber, and I'm probably like 10 minutes early because I just usually show up early to things. I don't know. When I get there, he's standing outside the restaurant and I recognize him from his profile. So at least he's not a catfish. You know, we say hi to each other and then he's just like, okay, let's go inside and grab our table. He made a reservation, so the table was ready right when we got there. So at least that was nice. They bring us to our table and they seat us at this 4-top, which honestly isn't that weird if you think about it. We're really only sitting there for like maybe 2 minutes before this girl walks up who I think at the time is just a waitress. But no. And you already know what's coming. She kind of just looks at me funny and then introduces herself just casually and I'm like, oh hi, like I'm Megan, and as she's sitting down, the next girl walks up. So all the girls are just introducing each other and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He's just sitting there like completely fucking fine. And then she goes, oh, so like, how do you know so and so? As in the guy. I'm just not gonna say his name because honestly, you know what? I should fucking say his name. Matthew. It was Matthew. And I'm like, oh, I actually don't really. This is our first date. So naturally, my next question is, oh, well, how do you know Matthew? He looks me dead in the eyes and goes, I thought this was our first date. Yeah. I just thought that these other two girls were friends that he knew that were around. Maybe he invited. I don't know. People are weird. But no, he'd scheduled this date at the same time with all three of us to meet at this place. And why, you might ask? Well, you're probably not asking because I already told you he was trying to speed up his process of finding the perfect three-way. We all left.
Well, at least the women left. Jokes aside, why is it that nobody has respect for each other? And why is it that people don't ever want to communicate what they actually want? If you're trying to speed it up, I think the best way to speed it up is to be clear with your intentions from the beginning. Don't waste people's time. You know how long it takes to get ready to go somewhere? We need to make better decisions. I'm not yucking your yum. You can do whatever you want. We're all adults with free will, so you have the choice to do what you want, but don't bring somebody else into that whose intention or whose values don't align with that. Just say what you want from the beginning, and those who align with you and who want the same things that you want will fall in line.
I did a background check on a man mid-date. Mid-date. Like, have you ever been on a date where it's just like, I don't even call that a date, because that wasn't a date. Where you're just like, you know what, I need to look you up, because this is just, you played, sir. Like, you very much played, okay? And he wasn't crazy, but he definitely played. So how I met this man is so crazy. So we were Facebook friends for like 4 years. My whole high school, I used to talk to this guy on Facebook, right? Not exclusively, child. But whatever the case, I lived in Jacksonville. He lived in West Palm. I ended up going to school in Miami. So that's just like, I was only like 45 minutes away from him. So once I moved to Miami for school, he ended up coming to see me and we went on our first date, y'all. The date was terrible, terrible. And we never spoke again. Deleted each other on Facebook, deleted each other or unfollowed each other on Instagram, and we never spoke again. Okay. Fast forward, I'm 24, I'm back living in Miami, and I'm posting all over my WhatsApp story because I'm talking to Caribbean men, and they use WhatsApp, and he ends up seeing it, right? So he hits me up, and he's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were back in Miami. Like, I would have been taking you on a date. Like, let me take you out. We can do Taco Tuesday on Tuesday. It's like a Saturday that he's writing me this. So I'm like, okay, period. Let's take me on a date, and I love a good Taco Tuesday. I love a good margarita. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I don't hear from him. Monday, I don't hear from him. Tuesday all day, I don't hear from him. And like 2 hours before, he calls me, he FaceTimes me. He's like, oh, are you getting ready? Like, are you coming? And I'm like, dude, no, I haven't even, you ain't even hit me up. Like, plans was not confirmed, in my opinion. But he's like, oh, no, come. Like, I thought like we were all set to go. So against my better judgment, I went. Now, he sent me their little Taco Tuesday flyer. I didn't even look up the restaurant to like see what they had. Like, I normally look up menus. I normally like look up pictures to get vibes. I don't know why. Maybe because it was like last minute. Now I'm like, okay, I'm going. I need to hurry up and get dressed. So he sent me the flyer, and all I looked at was the address. Now, once I pulled up, I realized that this was not, Taco Tuesday Mexican style where we get nice margaritas and we finna sit and eat tacos. This was Taco Tuesday Black people style. Okay, I pull up and I see red and blue flashing lights, strobe lights. I'm like, they're in here partying. I hear a DJ. I can look because they have both doors open. I can see hookah. I'm like, this is not no date. Like, I'm not going on a date right now. So I text him in. I'm like, okay, I'm outside. Where you at? And he's like, oh, come in. And I'm like, come in. Like, why are you not coming to get me and walking me in with you? Like, what's going on? But I'm like, maybe you got a table. Like what's up? Like, I wasn't feeling that. So the restaurant had like two doors. I could see into the first door, and it's like the bar, and I see some tables with hookah. And then the back doors, I could see it's like the open like dance floor or whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna go through the back door, so I'll see him before he sees me, right? So I walk in, and I'm looking around. I'm looking at the tables. It's not that big of a place. I don't see him. So I sit down, and I'm getting ready to text him, and then I hear the DJ come over the mic, and I look at the DJ, and he's the DJ. Sir, what?
Oh my god.
What? So I'm like, okay, this is not a date. You invited me to Taco Tuesday. You didn't tell me you was the DJ. I'm texting my sister like, girl, guess what? I'm texting my homegirl like, should I just leave? And I go back to the flyer, right? And so on the flyer it says music by, and then I guess it's his DJ name. But because I knew him pre this, I only knew him by his first name. So he probably sent me that flyer and thought that I knew that he was gonna be the DJ because it said music by his name. But I didn't know that was his DJ name. I only knew his government name. So then I go look up his Instagram and his Facebook to like, let me see what this dude has got going on, because I like clearly I don't know him. And I see as a child, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even date men with kids, but he didn't want to date me, he just went to smash. And then the baby's like young, and I'm just like, why did I not do my research? Like, what is going on? And I'm just sitting here looking stupid. This man is DJing, and I'm sitting at a table by myself. So then I'm like, let me do a background check on him. Like, let me, since I can't sit and get to know him because I thought I was going on a date to get to know somebody, let me just do the background check myself. And the site that I use for the background checks, y'all, it don't just tell you like if they've been arrested or anything like that. It don't just tell you like where they previously lived. That junk will tell you if, you know, they went to traffic court, if they sued somebody, if their name was in any law, court case, family court, child support. It will tell you everything, y'all. So I'm sitting here looking, like, pulling this man's background check because I'm like, since I can't get to know you, like, yeah, you tricked. I was tricked. I was bamboozled. And I'm texting my sister and my homegirl. I'm like, should I just leave? And so I text him, like, I'm going through the background check. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just leave. So I text him. I was like, I'm about to go.
You know, and I meant to say this in the first video with the girly, the guy after surgery. When you watch these things, the first thing you think about is why didn't you just go? Why did you stay there? Why did you? And you know what? A lot of times, in an effort to not make things awkward, we normally just go along with things. From the outside looking in, I'm like, why? I wouldn't even go in there. But if I was faced with that situation, I might have gone in there and sat down. And I'm going right back again to the way how people don't respect each other. Because why could you not just say, hey, I'm playing a set for this event. Would you like to come watch me and we can probably do something after? Or, you know, like it didn't have to be this. But then again, let this also be a lesson, because if you can do background checks like that, before you leave the house, do the background check. Because people are really out here wasting people's times.
Okay, so I have to tell you about this terrible first date. Met this guy a month ago. He was our waiter at a Mexican restaurant. He, at the end, gave me a note that said, "You're so beautiful, will you give me your number?" I gave him my number. I'm nothing if not a hopeless romantic. Let's go. So we start texting. His English isn't very good. My Spanish isn't very good. Our Spanglish, we can communicate. He immediately is asking me out. He's putting it in my court. He's like, what do you want to do? When can I take you out? So I picked a movie. I figured that was like low risk for a first date for somebody I have never hung out with, and I don't know that we can communicate that well. So I figured that was low risk. So the night before, we've like picked a movie, and I'm like, okay, how about we meet at 7:15 in the lobby? Movie starts at 7:20. He said, okay, great. And then he said, are you gonna bring a friend with you? And I said I wasn't planning on it. Should I? And he said, oh no, then it won't just be you and me. And again, I'm like, okay, maybe we don't speak very well to each other, so maybe this is either a communication issue or a or a cultural difference. I don't know that you bring a chaperone on a first date. I don't know, but odd. I said, so he was like, okay, no, then it'll just be you and me. And I'm like, okay, great, I'll see you tomorrow. So I text him the next day, on the day of our date. Like, I got there early, and so I was just like, oh, I'm in the lobby, a pink sweater. And he said, okay, I'm running late. And I'm like, okay, fine. Not great for a first date, but okay. He's running late. The movie kind of like starts, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm running late. And I'm like, it's okay, we probably haven't missed much yet, so it's okay. And he said, okay. And then he said, like 12 minutes after the movie is supposed to have started, he said, okay, I'm outside, I'm here. And I'm like, okay, great, see you soon. And he said, are you outside or inside? I'm inside. He said, what do you say that we meet outside? I said, why? It's cold. He said, so that I know where to find you. And I said, I'm the only one in the lobby right now. And then he didn't text back for a while, and I'm just waiting. And I'm like looking out the glass doors. I'm like, where is this man? What is going on? I'm the only one in the lobby. These high schoolers are probably embarrassed for me that I got stood up to a movie. I don't know. I'm waiting, and he's like, the truth is I can't find you. And I'm like, are you at the movie theater? Are you at the movie theater by the Outback restaurant? And then he says, can you send me your location? No, at this point, I don't think you should have my phone number. Okay, there's gonna have to be a part 2. I can't fit it in one. Part 2 of my bad date story. So we left off. This man's asking for my location. Will you send me your location? I'm in the movie theater lobby. There's one movie theater in this town. There's a couple other small ones, but it's clear that we're not going there. But I'm still over here like, did he go to the right movie theater? Whatever, doesn't matter. He doesn't deserve to have my location. Yikes. So I am still standing in the lobby, just waiting, seeing if he's gonna come in, seeing if we're just having a communication issue. I'm still willing, but now I'm like nervous. I'm nervous. Why do you want me to meet you outside? I don't like that. So finally, I've waited too long, and I said, hey, we're missing the movie, so I'm just gonna go home. And he said, no, don't go, like, we can still go, or do you want to go, like, get dinner or something, or do you want to watch a movie at my house? Absolutely not. Another secondary location? No.
No.
So then he's like calling me while I'm driving home. I'm already talking shit with my friend, telling them that, hey, I'm safe from the red flag that I almost went on a first date with. Red flag because he was late. I don't make the rules. And so I'm declining these calls. You're not worth my time if you're going to be late to a first date and then not show up and then be weird. What? So then he's like, please give me one more chance. And I'm like, no, thank you. He's like, why? You left. You're angry. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even know if you were at the right theater. And he sent me a picture from his car looking at the theater. And so I said, why didn't you come inside? And he said, the truth is I was driving there. I was late, and that's why. And I'm like, what? I said, you said that you got here at 7:32, which is 12 minutes after the movie's supposed to start. And 17 minutes after we were supposed to meet. So you're already very late. And then you didn't come inside. I waited for you. You said you were outside at 7:32. I didn't leave until 7:48. That's too much time on my part, honestly. Like, I shouldn't have waited for that long. So instead, I got myself a bucket of popcorn and I asked a 16-year-old behind the counter to walk me to my car because I thought I was going to get kidnapped. Seriously, I asked a juvenile behind the movie theater counter if they would walk me to my car because my date was being weird and I didn't feel safe, and they looked very weirded out. It was these two young boys. And I was like, now it sounds like I'm going to kidnap you. I understand that, but I'm not going to. I bought a bucket of popcorn. I'm going home. Please walk me to my car. Thankfully, he walked me to my car. I did not get kidnapped. But, like, what? He tried to get me to go out with him again. And texted me the next morning, good morning, beautiful. What?
Well, that was weird. Let me just say right off the bat, my allegiance will always be to children. So I don't like the idea of asking children to accompany you in a situation where you feel unsafe. I don't think that's the role of children. I understand that you might have felt that that's the only thing you could do at the time, but let's not put the kids in harm's way so that you can feel safe. I don't like that. Next thing, this story time might not have even needed to happen. It might just be a miscommunication. I don't like the idea that he was trying to get her to say, like, come to the house. But when you date somebody who is culturally different from you and there's a huge language barrier, these things can be expected, and it's also, like she said, it might be cultural. It's weird that he kept asking her to come outside without even leaving his car. She's in the place where she's meant to be. You're the one who is not where you're meant to be. You missed me at the kids. It's like my brain, it's like I wasn't even hearing you anymore. Cause what?
Will not even believe this. I'm gonna try to make this short, but this was the worst experience of my whole entire life. Well, first of all, he calls me. I get to the restaurant before him. He calls me right downtown Fort Worth. He's freaking out. He's like calling me pissed. The freaking, except he's cussing, pedestrians and traffic, and I hate downtown. And I was like, first of all, you need to calm down. Second of all, you chose this place. So relax. I said, I just got here. It's not that serious. We got all night. Like, freaking relax. He finally gets to me. When I'm waiting outside the restaurant, he walks up to me. He greets me by going, rah! I was like, ew, and also cringe. And then he hugs me as if I was the love of his life that he hasn't seen in 3 months. And I was like, okay, like, off to a terrible start. Dinner was the most awkward of my life. I went to the bathroom twice just to escape. Made friends with some girls in the bathroom. Told them how it was the worst date ever. How I was dying to leave. He tried to hold my hand twice. I pulled away and said, no. Twice. He's like, the second time, he's like, you're not going to hold my hand. I was like, no. Please don't touch me. He paid for dinner. It was $127. Okay, I offered to pay my side. He declined. We left. We're walking. He's yelling. He's playing fake mad, which he says was like a joke. He wanted to go to cigar lounge. I was like, absolutely not. I said, I really want to go home. It's like, let's go. He kept trying to hold my hand. I kept telling him no. He said, no, it's not an option. And he grabbed my hand like aggressively. And I was like, but I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of scared of him at this point. Even though, by the way, he was as tall as me, he lied about his height. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared of him at this point because he's getting like angry. So I was like, I'm just gonna just roll with it. So I held his hand and it was, I wanted to throw up. We get to the parking garage and he's like, I don't even know if I'm in this garage. I'm like, okay. I said, can I see your phone? He gives me his phone. I'm looking, I'm like, yes, you're in this garage. See right here? And I show him and he's just like, I was like, are you drunk right now? Like, are you drunk? Are you high? Like, what's going on? He's like, I may have had a lot of alcohol before I came here, so I was nervous. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, you're drunk right now. Sorry, I was nervous.
And she's about to get in a car with this man. The girls were right. Don't let these men drive you anywhere on a first date. You don't know this man from anywhere. You get there on your own so you can leave on your own. I mean, sometimes it might be logistically weird to like do that. Do you want to be like not awkward or safe? What's more important?
I was like, let's go. So I literally started pulling him by like his shirt. I'm pulling him. We go in the elevator. We can't find his car. This guy has no mother freaking clue where he parked. No clue. Dad mentioned this is the worst day of my life. Like, you don't remember what level? No. And now he's like really leaning into the drunkenness. And I'm like, this dude is gone. Like, wow. And wow. Okay, so, wow. He's just drunk, I guess, okay? Or something. I don't even freaking know. Who knows? Don't care. I ask him for his keys so I can hit the horn to find his car. We start at the top and we work our way down, okay? I'm so nice. I wanted to leave his boutete just sitting in the... No. But I'm nice, so I try to help him find his car. We can't find his car. We're honking the horn. He starts to get very angry. He's throwing his food, yelling, hooting, hollering, screaming, kicking the pillar like we're in a parking garage. I'm like, okay, so I start recording. He's drunk, he's pissed. I'm just trying to calm him down. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. You've got to calm down. We're gonna find your car. Like, it's gonna be fun. I'm being so nice. Security rolls around and I flag him down and I was like, help me. I didn't even care at this point. I was like, I'm being rescued. So they jump out of the Jeep and they're like, oh my God, and they call for backup and all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's like, he's drunk. He's angry. We can't find his car. This is a first date and I would really like to just leave. Can you guys take over? There's like 6 of us now, all these like security guards and me and this drunk guy. It was the worst night of my life. Not of my life, but definitely for the plot. I recorded the security guards too. More footage to come once I edit.
Girl, just tell the story.
Bro. I tell them all the details, first date. I think he drives this car. He doesn't really know. Here's his keys. I was honking the horn. I think it's over here somewhere, but we can't find it. He's drunk. He's angry. They took my contact information. It was a whole thing. So he's yelling across the parking lot, you're done with me, aren't you? You're done. I'm never going to hear from you again. And I was like, the 2 security guards were just laughing with me like, yeah, dude. But this is why we take our own car. This is why we keep our phone fully charged and full of storage so we can record things. I already blocked his number in front of the security guards and block. Thanks for listening.
Showing up to a date drunk is crazy work. The moment I realize you're drunk, give it a call somebody and get somebody else to do it because I'm not doing it with you. I cannot let you go into a car drunk knowing that you were just with me. If something happens to you, I will be devastated knowing that I'm one of the last persons to ever see you. I don't want that on my chest. So you call somebody, please get your phone out. Dial your mommy. Let's get somebody else to come and pick you up. You're not going to make me out here not being able to live a normal, happy life. Like, get your life together. We're grown people. You don't show up to places drunk. Did we not get the memo?
It's been about a year now since I went on a date with this guy who on the second date told me that he kills children. So now that it's been a year, I feel comfortable talking about it. So get ready with me while I tell you the story. So I meet this guy on Hinge at the time, I believe it was, and he's biracial, and then on the first date he ends up telling me that he's bisexual. So I'm like, yes. And like the first date was so cute also. Like we went to a sushi place and then we went back to his place and like went in his pool. This man was also very rich. Like he lived in a 4-story freaking like condo. I don't even know what. Like I was just like, whoa, you really have a lot going on. He had like a Tesla and everything. I was like, damn, okay. Like I am in it. Like I'm ready to be your wife. So then the second date rolls around and I go back to his place and we're hanging out, have a good time. We, do the deed. And it was great. It was fantastic. However, immediately after the fact, we're laying in the bed and I'm just making casual conversation with him because what else am I gonna do? I like to ask people like, oh, what are your flaws? Because I just think it's interesting to hear people's responses and like how they kind of perceive themselves.
You know when would be a perfect time to ask somebody what's their flaws? Maybe on the date, but definitely before you lay down with them. And I'm not judging because we were all young once and made stupid decisions, but we need to be conscious of the energy that we let into our spaces. If it were up to me, I'd tell you that observe these people, like take time to observe, because if you ask somebody those questions and their intention is to not be genuine, they're going to lie to you and then you still won't know. I know that we're in an era of people being sexually liberated and all of that, but there's a reason why we withheld our bodies before. There was a reason why we were advised to do that. And people will lie regardless of whether you do or not, but let it not be that you didn't do the proper steps. If somebody was being deceptive, that's on them and not you. It was important before you exchanged energies with him. That's really what I'm saying.
And he is completely deadpan, no like emotional whatever. He goes, oh, I people. And my first thought is, who? I'm in your rich ass house, and if something goes down, like I feel like this man has enough money to like make me go away. Do you know what I mean? So I was like scared. So out of my natural instinct, I was like, oh, like who do you kill? And again, he's serious and like I'm kind of serious because I just like said it more casually because he was being casual.
Girl, who do you kill? Can I get my bag and let's go? Are you dumb? I don't want to know who you kill. I'm getting out of there. Who do you kill? Get it together, please.
And so I go, oh, who do you kill? And because I'm hoping to God he's not gonna say he's about to kill me. And he goes, oh, children. Completely serious. Oh my God, I look so crazy. Hold on. So he says it completely serious. And so at this point, I have more questions. So I go, where do you get them? Where do you get these
questions? Let's go. I don't have any questions. Okay, children, okay, I'm leaving. I don't want to leaving. And then I'm calling 911 because this is not my fight. If it's a misunderstanding or a joke, you explain it to the feds. I'm not a detective. I'm not a detective. Sorry.
Yes. I don't know. I was nervous and I wanted to know because I literally was like, well, if you're killing them, like, where do you get them? And he goes, oh, from anywhere. Anywhere? Whatever. So then I was out of questions. I just like didn't know what to say. And at that point, because he didn't like break character, he didn't say like, oh, I'm joking, he didn't smile, he did nothing. I was the one that was like, oh, hi, so like anyway, like what are you up to later? Completely changed the subject because I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. Like, to be completely honest.
What do you mean by way up to later? What do you mean by that? We mean I carry up to later? That has nothing to do with me. Later? I don't want to know anything more about you. Can we go? Shoot, I have something really important to do at the police station. I have to go right now. Are you kidding? Don't ever joke with me like that because you will end up with a case. Like, don't joke with me. I'm not that funny. Pick something else to joke about. Not Kids, please.
I must have been stigmatized because we ended up going to the dog park with his dog.
No, this girl
And then I was
is-
gonna go to a movie with him after this. I was still ready to hang out with him after this. It like didn't click until after the fact. I was telling my brother, I was like, wait a minute. This guy like said this. Like, isn't that weird? And he's like, what the what are you talking about? And I was like, holy shit, you're right. That's messed up. So I actually forgot we went on 3 dates. And on the second date, we went somewhere that was by my apartment. So I think he parked at my apartment and I drove us over there. So he knew where I live. I was like, I should call the police, but I also don't have any proof. Like, he didn't show me anything. Like, word of mouth, I don't think is like enough. And if I go to the police, they're gonna call him, and then he's gonna know immediately where it came from. Like, unless he goes around telling everyone that he kills kids, which I highly doubt. Now I moved, so I could report it, but I don't know if it's grounds. Anyway, so after that, he ended up going on like a work trip to Australia for like 3 weeks or something like that, and we just did not talk until a couple months later. I post on my story because my friend is performing. I show up there and he's there, and I was like, oh, fuck. And at this point, I had told all my friends, like, oh my god, like the killer, that's so crazy. So when I show up there with my friends, I'm like, that's literally the killer. I'm hoping that he doesn't see me, but I'm tall. I'm 5'9", and I always wear like stompers, okay? So obviously he's gonna see me. And he did. And he ended up coming over to me. And I'm like, hey, how's it going there, buddy? He's like, oh my gosh, hi, like, that's so great. And I was like, God, that's so crazy. Like, what are you doing here? He was like, oh, I came to see you. Because he saw that I posted on my story. But I did remember after the fact that we were talking about like our hobbies. And he's like, yeah, I love like this one company that like puts on shows and stuff. And I was like, oh, I like didn't think anything of it. And then that was the same company. So he probably was gonna go anyway, and then might have seen my story. After that, I blocked him. So that's pretty much the story. I'm gonna finish my makeup off camera. And this is the final look. I feel like it's giving share. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions and I will answer them gladly.
Girl, I hate to call you a bimbo, but you sound dumb as heck in this video. She's a little bit too hee ha ha about somebody talking about offing children. He never cleared that up, by the way. He never cleared that up, and you never sought clarity. But you're on TikTok grinning and talking about it as if it's a joke, as if there aren't so many missing children on a daily. Like, this is not funny. You see, people are who they are. They support what they support as long as it's something that they think will benefit them. There's no problem. I can't respect that. And that's not just a ha ha he he story to me. Like, first of all, I would never ever continue a conversation with somebody, even if it's a joke, who jokes about offing children. You are not okay. You need to see a therapist. I mean, we all need help, but you need help more. You need a lot more help than the average Joe. And you know what? On that note, I'm leaving it right there because that just dampened my whole mood. And the fact that she's so kiki about it, it's really upsetting me and my homegirls. If you watch this video to this point, thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I am trying to get to at least 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is July 27th. So if you would like to help a girl along her journey, please consider subscribing to this channel. And I have a lot more videos. Do you have any weird like dating stories of your own? Feel free to share that down below in the comments. This girl's crazy.